Me and my cousin used to go to our grandfather's farm very frequently when we were younger. It was this large 40 to 50 acre farm. We used to find all sorts of weird things around the area, but we never took it seriously. Our grandparents used to warn us about going into certain places near the farm. They believed evil entities were there in those places. They used to warn us about skinwalkers and told us stories about how they can change their form. But we didn't take it seriously. We always used to laugh at it. We were around 14 or 15. We used to be very curious. One day as we were walking on the farm, my cousin said, "Let's take out Grandpa's old motorcycle tonight." It sounded like a good idea to me at that time, and I immediately agreed. The door used to make noise when it was moved, so we planned to sneak out through the window that night. We snuck out and found the motorcycle. We pushed it away from the house, as it would make noise and our grandparents could wake up if we started it near the house. But it didn't start when we tried to. After trying for almost an hour, the engine started. We were so happy that we couldn't believe it. It made a very loud sound, as it was an old motorcycle. Worried that it'll wake our grandparents up, we immediately hopped on it and left. As we left, we noticed that it was completely silent, and we were worried that the sound of the motorcycle would lure wild animals. But we didn't think much about that. The first hour was pretty fun. We enjoyed it a lot. Then we hit the end of the road. There was no road or street light after that. It was just woods, and we saw some trails, but it was completely dark. My cousin then started riding further, saying it'll be fun. I didn't have a good feeling, but I ignored it. The only way we could see the path was because of the lights on the motorcycle, which was somehow working. After an hour, we came to a stop. We were there for a while, and then we left. While we were getting on our motorcycle, we heard something in the bushes. We thought it must be some animal, and we ignored it. As we were on our way, I felt like something was chasing us. We were looking at our shoulders every other second. We could literally hear the sound of an animal running, but we couldn't see anything as it was dark. We were completely panicking. My cousin was speeding at this point. But suddenly, we saw something in front, which we thought was human at first. But when the light fully covered it, we realized that it was neither a human nor an animal. It looked completely unnatural. We couldn't believe our eyes as it started chasing us. It was running at such a speed that it was almost about to get us even though we were speeding. It started screeching as it was running. I was very creeped out as it started screeching. It was very loud and weird. And soon enough, 2 more animals which were weirdly similar started chasing us as well. They looked very unnatural as well. I couldn't believe any of this was real. At that moment, we realized what our grandparents were warning us about. We were not even sure if we were on the right path. I was screaming at this point, and my cousin was speeding, and he was pretty freaked out too. He rode it on its maximum speed. It sounded like the engine was about to give up. And soon enough, we started to see the streetlights. We were relieved as we realized we were on the right path. As soon as we crossed the woods and hit the road, we slipped and fell. We were dragged a few feet. I immediately looked if the creatures were still chasing us, but they were nowhere to be found. My cousin immediately picked up the motorcycle and we just took off from there. We were checking if those creatures were chasing us the whole way. We were shaking as we reached home. When we told our grandparents about the whole thing, they were very shocked and worried. They were certain that it was skinwalkers. Our jaws dropped when we realized that they were humans who were shapeshifters and could take any form. We still get goosebumps whenever we remember that horrifying night.